Around the world, we recognize girls as one of the most vulnerable groups in society that face a lot of challenges simply because of their gender. These include child labor, early marriages, teenage pregnancy, gender violence, and discrimination.
In so many cultures around the world, girls are still treated as inferior and are taught to put themselves last. Those who live in unstable areas are forced into early marriages, and this especially is due to teenage pregnancy.
In Uganda alone, it is estimated that 1 in 4 teenage girls aged 15 to 18 is either pregnant or has a child. This high level of pregnancy among teenage girls has led many to drop out of school. Some have carried out unsafe abortions that have led to complications and in some severe cases led to death.
Today on the show, we're going to explore key reasons that make young girls prone to teenage pregnancy and early marriage.
Hello and welcome to U-Report. Today on the show, we talk about teenage pregnancy and early marriage. U-Report is a free SMS-based system that allows you as a young Ugandan to speak out on what's happening in your community and work together with other community leaders for positive change. Conrad, let's show the viewers how to join.
Step number 1, simply text the word join to the number 8500. All messages you send to the number 8500 are free across all networks.
Step 2, you will receive a greeting message and a series of questions asking to know more about you. We at U-Report would like to know more about you, where you come from, for better interaction.
Step number 3, after answering those simple questions, there you go, you're a U-Reporter.
As a U-Reporter, you will receive weekly poll results and meaningful information to help you enact change in your community. Teenage pregnancy is a big problem in our local communities. It is one of the reasons as to why young girls drop out of school at primary and secondary level. And this destroys the hopes and dreams of the young mothers themselves and their parents.
Some of the U-Reporters are really concerned about this issue. For example, a U-Reporter from Bale asked, why is there a high level of teenage pregnancies among UPE and USE schools? And where is our country going? And here is another U-Reporter from Arua who asked, how can girl child education be increased when the girl child is being forced to marry when they are still very young?
To address the growing concerns of teenage pregnancy, we asked 147,000 U-Reporters, how many girls below the age of 18 do you know that got pregnant while still in school? Over 80% of the U-Reporters that responded said they knew one girl that got pregnant, and many others confirmed that they knew at least 15 girls.
Here is what other U-Reporters from other parts of the country had to say about how teenage pregnancy and early marriage affects the lives of these young girls.
I had my friend, she was in P6 by then. Then a boda man deceived that girl and impregnated her. Remember, the boda man didn't have enough money to cater for that girl, and that girl was living with her parents. So the parents chased her away from home to join the boy. On reaching there, the boy also told her, that girl from here, you're not my girlfriend, I've never loved you, and that pregnancy doesn't belong to me. So the girl went on suffering from there. She became a housemaid somewhere, and from there she was also mistreated from there.
Now, Waj sub-county, specifically maybe Gwengdia Primary School, you'll find out that in a year, nearly 9 girls get married off and impregnated, and this is really affecting the community. Nearly we don't have any girls progressing from primary to secondary from our sub-county because of early pregnancy.
Like in my village there where I come from, most of the teenagers they get early pregnancy, and as a result of pregnancies they tend to drop out of school, because as you're pregnant you cannot continue with your studies. You may end up being expelled from school, and also there is that fear. You yourself, as you're pregnant, you have to be scared of, afraid, how will my friends look at me and most of them, they end up just in the villages.
Practically, not even a week back, I've been testing somebody who is at 15 years who was pregnant. And it has really lowered. I know that person because she was moving with the mom. So the mom was like, I think this is the end of this person. So that girl had already lost morale of being on the earth. And if there is no care given, she can easily go and either accept to abort or go for suicide, which is very bad.
Most times when a teenage mother is left or like isolated from the society, they try to struggle on their own, of which it's not simple. Like they fail to have daily meals for the kid. When the kids are sick, it's a problem to seek medical health. When you go home, the society is not accepting you.
One of the side effects here is that it makes them earn into something that is not really worthy of for them doing, prostitution. And then secondly, you find that some may even end up stealing. One time a girl came and then stole from my neighbor's shop, stealing a cloth, not because she doesn't have the money. She also have it, but there's a lot of budget on that small money that she has that she cannot get that one. So as the effects of being a young mother, that is another thing. It makes their mind. You go into getting something that you cannot get in the other way, that might not be right.
Over 35,000 new reporters who responded to the poll question were in agreement that the girl who got pregnant while in school had to drop out. Most of them could not go back to school and complete their education. Now, 82% of all the U-reporters were in agreement that that is the case across the country.
We must end child marriage and reduce teenage pregnancy to ensure that the girl child receives her right to education for better life opportunities. When we return, we meet a young, determined mother that went back to school after giving birth.
My name is called Oloa Osman. And I want to inform the community that I'm really very proud to be the U-reporter.
Welcome back. U-Report is a weekly TV show that allows you as a young Ugandan to speak out on what's happening in your community for a positive change. It's very easy to join and let your voice be heard. All you have to do is text the word join to the number 8500 and all messages are free across all networks. This week, we take a deeper look into the issues of teenage pregnancy and early marriages. Over 35,000 new reporters across the country sent us a text message telling us that the girls who got pregnant while in school had to drop out, and many of them did not go back to school to complete their education.
Every girl child has a right to education. I hope you will be inspired by this young mother who has gone through so many challenges to pursue her education.
Nkatunge kisitu cha amani ninchetakiziwa kwa tukatabaniza ubonezi wange natunge byosyo omusajja yanyosya natwalenda nazara omwana w'obwoti kyoko omusajja gwatangire na buyambi bwono buyampaire nabona n'omwana ninkora nindimiriza mu byaro namara omwana wange yakura nyine kusasa kwa amani muno habwokuba emisomo yange ekanfwera saazi numba nimusiniye yakana kuba nasi ambasempe njanjaba abarwaire nanye nyetaga mu kicweka kyoitu Katumba ngende nkolo bwa nasi mu kicweka ekyaitu ky'Enjojo.
I lost my dad to HIV and started living with my mom in my early teenage ages. And you know very well, when you have a mom who is a housewife, it's always not very easy to fend for the family, and especially after the breadwinner dies, like it becomes very hard. And because we are fending for ourselves, like we had to now take care of more burdens, of course, because our needs could not understand what we are going through. So we did all sorts of odd jobs, whatever you can think about, we did, just to fend for ourselves. And we had to move to a cheaper school, of course. I even conceived. And thank God I didn't make up my mind to abort. Yeah, I kept my child, who is now very healthy, and I'm so proud of him. And still with the scholarships, I never gave up my struggles for school. I solicited for several scholarships that I could land my hands on. And currently, okay, I got a scholarship that saw me through A level. Yeah, and it's still seeing me through university. And I'm doing one of the prestigious courses around and trying to work very hard to make ends meet, and so that my kids don't go through the same things I went through. To all girls who are in a similar situation that I was in, I strongly encourage you to first of all accept the reality, because you cannot change it at the moment. And then I think you should also look forward to making your future better. And the only way you're going to do that is through education. And then those who are really very privileged and you're misusing that chance, I strongly encourage you to avoid the luxurious kind of life that will lead you into that. Avoid anything like peer pressure. Avoid everything that is really going to let you reach that part that I was in.
In Uganda today, the rate of teenage pregnancy is very alarming. At 25%, our country is ranked one of the highest in sub-Saharan Africa. We asked our U-reporters what they think should be done to prevent teenage pregnancy and support the teenage mothers. Let's take a look.
We have a lot of youth with disabilities who've given birth at that tender age, when their minds are not yet developed so much, they can't yet do things on their own. I can call them like their child mothers or their child fathers. It happens in a way, maybe at times it is hard for them to access these health services like the family planning things. First of all, they fear to go there, thinking that now when I go, that I want to be put on a family planning method. They will ask me a lot of questions. Those are the things they have in their mind. It is they themselves that at times also fail to access these things because of the fear that they have.
After giving birth, I think they should go back to school, because after giving birth, someone understands that what was the cause. Someone had learned a lesson. Now she can be able to concentrate more than she used to before.
We should also sensitize girls themselves, because without sensitization, without making them know that even if they are still at that early age, they can still mean a lot in future. They lack that. They just know that, for me, in our family, no one has ever reached this level, so that one is the only thought that comes into their brain and makes them what? Brainwashed of their future. And that one makes them not to be very comfortable in what? Defending themselves before men.
Parents of these girls should find a way of giving these girls all the necessities. You know, girls need so many things. So they need to work hard in order to give these girls what is needed of them, like clothes, things to do with pads and the rest. So they need to be given all these things so as to stop them from these peer groups who influence their studies.
Child mothers who go to the hospital should be really accepted and received, because most of them really still don't have the experience of being mothers or of childbearing. That's why you find out, or you realize, most of them die because of those complications. So when they go to hospitals, health workers should talk to them like mothers, because they are more experienced, so that they can have at least something to lean on.
The most effective system that we can use to actually stop these early pregnancies is to move like you are doing now. Go to schools, go to health centers, go to all these institutions which provide basic care. And really carry on with the exercise that you are doing now, the U-report, and really gather information. And in the process of gathering information, you are still creating awareness. And in the process of creating awareness, the knowledge is instilled in someone. And instilling knowledge, it means you are making a brighter future for the youth.
Teenagers who are pregnant are often traumatized, confused, and also rejected by their lovers and family. However, Wakisa Ministries has embraced some of these girls, giving them a home away from home, and also training them on various vocational skills.
Wakisa Ministries, which started 9 years ago, is a ministry that offers caring and training for the young girls who are pregnant. And these girls are between the age of 12 to 18. We try to empower these girls with vocational skills. We try to give them counseling so that they can even have self-esteem. And it is a holistic kind of program, physically, psychologically, and spiritually. We'll receive girls from all over the country who have been rejected and abandoned by their parents, by their guardians, by their boyfriends. But we have realized that 80% of these girls who come here, who are young, between the age of 12 to 14, are being raped. And it's sad to say that some of these cases are incest cases. So they have been rejected and they have double trauma.
How serious is this issue of teenage pregnancies or teenage mothers in Uganda?
We have a capacity of 20 beds here, but from January to December, we are full to capacity. And I know Uganda has still got the highest teenage pregnancy rate in the sub-Saharan Africa, if not the whole of Africa. Why? We still have to find out. And girls come from Soroti, from Mbarara, from Kisoro, from Gulu, from everywhere, coming to Kampala to have shelter in this ministry. So I wish in Uganda we could also tell the girls that it's not only getting pregnant. You're going to take care of a human being. You're going to breastfeed this baby. The baby is going to wet his nappies. You're going to keep on changing the nappies. You're going to feed them. You're going to really do more, than what you think. So maybe these girls in school will know what it is to be a mother at an early age. When they get their children, we can only keep them for 2 weeks. But those 2 weeks, they will go back into depression. When they come in and we admit them, the day we admit them here, these girls, their level of anxiety is so high. During their time here, the level of anxiety is just now going down. Now, when they're going back home with a baby, the level of anxiety shoots high again, because the baby is born, they sleep with the baby, and the baby started crying. He wants to be breastfed. That's why so many girls throw away these babies. It's too much. You've got to appreciate your mothers. They did a great job, but these girls are not ready for it.
What are you doing to assist them to go through these challenges?
Here we have tried to make sure that we train the primary 7 girls into academic, studies. We teach them academic studies. It is through counseling at Wakisa Ministries that they reconcile with the parents and these girls. Some of these girls are raped and nobody believes what they say. Not even their mothers. They kind of like, you wanted it, you asked for it. That's why you're pregnant. And so when nobody believes them at home, when nobody has trusted them, then they go into depression.
If I'm to ask the government to change the education system,
for someone to go into marriage,
someone
never have
the government can come in and say now.
Have your say. Text the word join to 8500 for free. U-report, because your voice matters.
My name is Komakech Moses. I'm happy to be a U reporter because it gives me an opportunity to hear out my views, and it will be heard everywhere, worldwide. So I encourage other people also to join so that their voice is heard.
Hello and welcome back. U-report is a free SMS-based system that allows you as a young Ugandan to speak out on issues affecting you in your community and work together with other community leaders for positive change. That is why we are sharing your feedback with key stakeholders who can influence change.
One of the U-reporters asked that how can we increase girl-child education despite the fact that girls are being married off early? And in answer to that, I would say that girls are being married off early. That's a reality that's with us in the communities. And that is why it's very, very important to have community sensitization and awareness raising. Because a lot of the people who marry off girls don't feel that they're doing anything wrong. Some of them feel that, well, let me marry off my daughters so that they can support with the household income. Let me marry off my daughter because everybody's going to say she's a little too old after a certain age. So there are a whole spectrum of issues out there. But we need to see how do we get a balance so that we don't appear like we are attacking the religions or attacking the culture, but sit down with opinion leaders, people who people will listen to in the communities, and say we are going to sit down with the reverends, we are going to sit down with the imams, we are going to sit down with the cultural leaders and brainstorm and say how do we help our young girls. And I think some cultural institutions had started getting creative, saying that if you are not sexually active up to a certain age, then we are going to reward you in a certain way. So it's to see how do we combine our own messages and these innovations within the communities to come up with a joint solution.
I'm encouraging every parent, a girl, just to stand and say, no, we can do it, we can stand, and even if you get pregnant, you're still needed in the community or in your family. So they shouldn't be ashamed of themselves, even if they have AIDS or not, if the father or of the kid is nowhere to be seen, still you can go back to school. Because once the girl is busy like you can't look for a man. They need to be employed, they need to be empowered. That's our program we started as women cultural leaders in Uganda. Actually, I'm covering the whole of Africa. To sensitize women to know how to work so that they can feed their kid without looking money from outside, without going for men.
There you have it, you reporters. You too can be part of the change that ends teenage pregnancies and early marriages in your communities. Efforts are being made by the Ministry of Health together with its partners like Maristops Uganda to bring schools, communities and health facilities together with trained peer educators to interact more with the youth, like this call center at Maristops.
Hello.
Maristops has used U-report a lot in its work. First of all, we sent out a poll question that was specifically asking young people about the challenges they face and how they think this should be addressed in terms of their sexual reproductive health. So Maristops set up this hotline last year, and 80% of our callers are young people aged between 20 to 29 years old. These young people call in with questions on family planning, on menstruation, on changes within their body, on reproductive health in general. And we have counselors who are trained to give out information in a very youth-friendly way. The hotline number is available from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. from Monday to Friday. The number is currently running on your screen, and it's a toll-free number. They're willing to give you information and support on any challenges that you face as a young person growing up. These counselors speak a variety of languages, so you can call in Uganda, you can call in Acholi, Lunyankole. Our counselors will be ready to receive your call and respond to you in a very confidential way.
Next time, we would like to hear from you too. Let your voice be heard right here on your report.
You too can be part of the change in your community. Delay pregnancies until the time is right. Let's focus on making our communities safe, because every girl child deserves the right to pursue her dreams through education. Bye-bye. How serious is the issue of teenage pregnancy and RM?
Wait, am I supposed to say anything?
In Uganda alone, it is estimated that estimated.
Yes.
Estimated. Okay.
Got you!
Estimated.
Camera!
Okay. Nathan, I swear to God, if you put that.
Not that. Let's look at that.
Let's take a look.
Some have carried out unsaved portions. I almost said posho. Okay. Unsaved portions. Okay.
It's lunchtime, so you can think about what.